Hello, I'm Lawrence Owen, and this is Colts Law. So, Paris Campbell is a threat on all levels. Well, at least that's what Colts receivers coach Mike Groh says. The Indianapolis Colts emphasized shoring up some depth in their receiving core over the last couple NFL drafts, and despite a rough debut season, receivers coach Mike Groh is confident that Paris Campbell will enjoy one heck of a leap in his sophomore season. Campbell's rookie year was plagued by injuries that ultimately limited him to 18 catches, 127 yards, and a touchdown in just 7 games. Still, Gros confident he can take on an integral role in the offense during the 2020 season. In an interview with Andrew Walker, he said, "Yeah, it's unfortunate he had the injury bug last year, but that doesn't diminish his skill set. Paris is somebody that I think is a threat on all levels. He's somebody you can get the ball into their hands really quickly. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands, and he can make people miss and break tackles. He's got vision as a runner. I think he certainly has the ability and the skill set to be a very good route runner. So, as an intermediate player, I think you're going to see a lot of development there. He's just going into a second year, and now he's going to be able to dedicate himself to being a complete receiver. Then, obviously, he's a deep threat, right? He's got speed that gets people's attention. When you put on the tape, the DBs line up across from him, and you know that he can run by them. So that's why defensive backs back up, and that helps the offense. It helps the run game. It helps the other guys around him when you have a guy like that on the field that people have to pay attention to. So it's just football, one of those things. Sometimes you got to have one of those years where things are just out of control. An injury hits you or something in your personal life takes, it's something that impacts your season. But we all on the Indianapolis Colts have confidence that Paris Campbell is going to do a lot for us. Now, my opinion, Gros is dead on the money. Last year was terrible, not just for Campbell, but for the wide receiver core complete in general, right? Holy crap. You had T.Y. Hilton hurt most of the year. You had Paris Campbell only able to play 7 games. You had Devin Funchess hurt before the season really even started. I mean, it was like 3 snaps into the season and he was done for the rest of the season. I mean, my goodness. When all you have is your 4th-string player, who, by the way, Zach Pascal did an excellent job stepping up into a role that he was not meant to step up into, that's going to affect the game. Then, of course, Jacoby Brissett getting hurt in week 8. What do you expect? What do you expect? It took a toll on the receiving game. This year, Paris Campbell's not going to have to sit there and study the playbook near as much. He could go out there and work with his teammates, work on his game, work on his skill sets, work with the quarterback, Phillip Rivers, going out there and getting timing down, understanding how to work defensive backs and safeties and things of that nature. I think this will be a massive breakout for Paris Campbell. The kid, 6 foot tall, right? That's not short. That's your average wide receiver, but he's got 4.3 speed. Oh my goodness. He's under 4.3. And he's got pretty good hands. If you watched some of the tape last year, you got him on drag routes and crossing routes. You see what he could do if you get the ball early in his hands with those defensive backs backed up because they're afraid of his speed. When he does a quick drag route, so he's easily open, got plenty of space, he could use that speed to create tons of yards after the catch. He does a very, very good job of that. Now, obviously, the Colts still have T.Y. Hilton, who the last few years have had an injury problem, but that's not to say he'll have that same problem this year. And, of course, they picked up Michael Pittman Jr. with their first pick of the draft. Well, granted, their first pick technically was to trade for DeForest Buckner, but their actual draft pick was this wide receiver who's very tall and good at going downfield and catching 50-50 balls, which means that'll open up the middle of the field. And that's what Paris Campbell is going to do so much. Hey, Barry to Jerry, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. So, yeah, I think that Paris is somebody that not only Colts fans, but NFL fans in general need to keep an eye on, because what does Phillip Rivers love to do? He loves to throw the ball in short intermediate routes. And that is exactly what Paris Campbell's skill set allows. So, yes, everybody he loves his tight ends. He loves his running back. That's because those are safety blanket players. And when you have a guy who has tons of speed, who can run those quick drag routes and those crossing patterns and those scissor patterns and stuff like that, that are able to get him open quickly, he's going to be a favorite target of Rivers. Expect Campbell to really explode this season. And that's even with what I consider the Colts going to have limited number of passing snaps, because I think they're going to be a 55-45 or even 60-40 in favor of the run game when it comes to snap percentages. So there'll be less snaps of the passing game, but I think Paris Campbell will get his fair share of those, and he will get a lot of yards after catch. That yak yardage is very, very important. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law, and I want you to have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.